So you heard the news that Microsoft have laid off thousands of employees in their cloud division. And you may wonder, Rod, if Microsoft can lay off in their cloud division, a division that's new and evolving, you need to worry about your job. I need to worry about my job. Everybody need to worry about their job because software development is not safe. It's not a good career. Don't go in it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Before you make brash decisions, I got something for you guys. You can make sure you take advantage of this situation. Even though you get laid off, there's some things you can do to really put yourself in a position to win. And I'm going to cover that in this video. I got 3 things I want to go over for even for these Microsoft developers. They can come out better and be a more successful developer even after they get laid off. Let me explain. All right, guys, let's just get this clear. Nobody's safe from a layoff. I'm letting you know that now. Nobody is safe. I'm sitting over here. I got this article. I'm going through it. It's on Yahoo. I'll give you guys a link to this article. But at the end of the day, they laid off hundreds of Azure cloud division, guys. If you don't know what Azure is their main cash cow at this point. The way they make a ton of revenue as a tech company. And you may think, hey, if this is your bread and butter, this is one of your money generating sectors in your business, why would you be laying off? And guys, I got a few things I want to cover, but the number one thing is nobody's safe. As you guys can see, things can be great in your department and you still get laid off. How do you avoid this? Well, you can't. There's no way you can avoid this, but what you can do is keep your eye on the prize and make sure that you're aware of the actual market. We'll go cover this later on in the video, but at the end of the day, guys, this is Microsoft. You got to make sure you stay on your A game. You got to make sure you're looking around, making sure your skills are up to date, making sure everything is good to go as a developer. And even though you get laid off, is not the end of the world. Do not hold yourself like you did something wrong after you get laid off. Because as you guys can see, I'm pretty sure these were some high-end developers that they got rid of. Because you got to understand, guys, this is the cream of the crop development team, the cloud-based team. You're not going to get on that team if you don't know what you're doing, at least for the most part. So you got to understand that you got a lot of people who are actually trying to figure out why they got laid off today. But I'm here to tell those people and yourself that it's okay. The best of us get laid off. No matter what happens in your career, how good you are, it just sometimes the business goals is conflicting with your goals at the time. Sometimes you're just a number on the spreadsheet. They're not looking at skills. They're looking at the least resistance to cut the fat, cut the actual expenses so that they can get that revenue at a expenses at a specific number. And again, you may make a lot of money. You may have been around for a while, did a good job, but you are a number on a sheet of paper for a lot of companies, especially for these enterprises, guys. The enterprises is what's going to really don't necessarily look at the human element of things. They're looking at straight up, what's the money? What's the money? What's the money? How can I make more money? Profit, profit, profit. And this is the thing. Once you get to this size, guys, you got to understand you're just a cog in that wheel. And that's okay. That's okay. You just got to make sure you position yourself. If this happened to you, you're going to be better off than what you were before. But before we get into the other 3 points, guys, or the other 2 points, do me a favor. Comment below about the last time you've been laid off. What have you do to survive and to get your next job? Have you got to your next job? Are you struggling? What's going on with your particular situation? Comment below. Let's start a conversation so that I can learn more about your specific situation, guys, as you trying to recover from your layoff. All right, number 2, always be networking. Always be networking. Always be networking, guys. And it's not going to a network event. This is not you handing out business cards every time you see somebody you know or see a human. No, it's none of that. It's just knowing the landscape in your local area online, what jobs you qualify for, what your skill set looks like, what projects are needed, what the requirements, what's the certifications. Just learning the lay of the land, learn the key players, learn the hiring managers, learn the CTOs and the software development team at other areas. Just have a general idea of the landscape, because what's going to happen is, in the case of you getting laid off, you already have this information. You already know this. You're not trying to find this out as you are laid off. You're panicking, you pay your bills, you're not thinking straight, and you're rushing. You don't want to be in a position where you're trying to find this out while you are actually laid off. But at the end of the day, if you can do this while you have a job, this is going to do 3 things for you. Number one, it's going to actually make sure you are aware of the skills you need to make sure that your portfolio, your projects, everything you need to get a job is up to snuff, guys. This is the number one thing. Number two, you're going to know some people. You're not going to be put on the bottom of the resume stack when you apply. You can go straight to the top. You can go to the hiring manager. You can go to the inside people. You can get to the front of the line without going through the resume stack. Always be networking, guys. This is what's going to allow you to do that and put you in a position to win. And number 3, guys, is going to make sure, if you know that you're going to be laid off, you're going to see it in the industry. You're going to see other people getting laid off. You're going to see, hey, this is not just something that's going on with my company. This is industry wide. Or yet you may be researching and find out other companies in your niche or your industry has been laying off and you guys haven't. Now you're trying to get prepared. You're learning the lay of the land. You're learning what's going on so that you can prepare yourself. You can save money. You can lower your expenses. There's so many things you can do to prepare yourself to make this layoff a lot more easier to yourself. But you can't do that unless you're networking. You're understanding the lay of the land. You're making sure you identify areas to where, hey, I can help. Or I can be that person that can learn that on the fly, or I can just understand the fundamentals. So if I'm an SAP developer and I'm trying to jump to Oracle or I'm trying to jump to Microsoft, I know the fundamentals. I know their key applications. I know that, hey, it's Salesforce over here, and I got to learn an equivalent CRM over here. They're the same at its core. It's just the syntax is different based off of the different approaches. But as an experienced developer or a developer who's learned the fundamentals, you're going to be able to pick up on that quick. You're going to be able to speak to the specific problems as a software developer, guys. But I can't stress this enough, guys. But at the end of the day, what I'm going to do is, I talk about this in step number 4 of my 7-step guide as far as just finding work, and step number 5 when it comes to networking, guys. So links are below to that 7-step guide. It's going to get you guys started on being able to find out how to network effectively and make sure that you put yourself in a position to win as well. And if you already signed up for that 7-step guide, go ahead and enroll in my 30-day developer course, guys. It's going to give you deep details and how to get your job fast and be able to actually get your job right away. So you're not sitting out here unemployed for 6 months to a year. So links below to all that, guys, so that we can get started. Last but not least, guys, let's make sure you keep your skills and your projects up to date. I can't stress this enough. You can do the top 2 just fine, but if your skills and your projects not up to date, you're not going to be much use for another company. That's part of the reason why you probably got laid off, because you are not up to date. You're not solving problems. You're not impactful. So you got to make sure you do all these things right when applying for another company. They're going to see that resume. They're going to get you in right away. Your resume, you're going to have interview, your communication skills going to match up. They're going to give you a job right away. They're not going to let a prized developer like yourself or a potential developer go without a job too long. And I can tell you guys this, when you have your resume structured right, you get into the right company, you kill that interview, and you really get into there and start to communicate what you have done for other companies and how you took them to the next level, you will get a job. I guarantee you the top 10% of these Microsoft developers didn't sit at home one day until Oracle, SAP, other cloud-based solutions are reaching out to that, at least that top 10%, top 20% of those developers. They may have a week off work without being bothered by a recruiting agency. They will get recruited. And this is where you're going to be in, guys. Have that resume in place. Have those skills updated. Make sure you're in position so that, hey, if word gets out that your company's laid off, you're going to have people proactively reaching out to you, trying to get you the job and communicating and networking with you. So you got to make sure you already have all these things into play so that you can be successful, guys. But again, step back, take it all in, and just know you made the right step. You're watching this video, you start with these 3 and you expand. Don't overcomplicate it, don't get overwhelmed, and don't start to rush, because you right now, maybe you are laid off. Maybe you got a severance package, maybe you got some savings, you're on the right spot. Let's just get you a job quickly and easily. It don't have to be the best job in the world. We want to just get you on your feet at this point. Once you get on your feet, we can start to really look at the market and see a job that's specifically for you and what skills you have. Make sure you expand those skills to be helpful for that company and get that job that you want. But a lot of you guys, I already know, you're living like you're back in the 90s where you're not the best communicator. And again, I don't expect you guys to be a great communicator. You don't have to be a good communicator. You just don't need to suck. You just need to be able to get your point across effectively. And that's an average communicator, guys. At the end of the day, once you get that average communicator, your tech skills is up to date, you're going to be, and then you start to focus on impactful projects, you're going to be better than 80% of the developers out there with that alone without even start to write code. I'm letting you know that now, because we got some lazy developers out there that got a lot of money, but they kiss a lot of butt to keep their job. And you don't have to do that because you are a rock star developer. If you haven't already, guys, like, subscribe to my content, and check out the goodies in the description box. I got my 7-step guide and my 30-day developer course. Link to that and all that, guys. And if you haven't already, share your experience about your layoff. Let's comment. Let's start a conversation about that. And what I'll do for you guys is put a link to my 7-step guide here on the screen. And I'll see you guys in the next video.